Are you finding enough hidden gems? In this video, we're giving you a tutorial to my favorite place for hidden gems, Kucoin. We're going over how to set up the exchange, navigating it, and much more. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name's Ben. I've made over 6 figures trading crypto. I'm on a journey to 10K a month of passive income, and I want you to join me on this journey. Let's go. So Kucoin is one of my favorite exchanges to find hidden gems and also trade because they have some of the lowest fees. It also can be very confusing and hard to navigate for new crypto users, and so that's why I've decided to create this tutorial. Thank you, Travis H, for inspiring me to make this video. First thing you'll do is you'll go to Kucoin and then you'll click sign up. And I always use an email for that. And then they'll send you a 6-digit code after you enter that code and your password. And then you could also use my referral code, which is in the description, and then you're good to go. So the first thing I want you to do, and you should do this for every new exchange you set up, is enable 2-factor authentication. If you already know how to use that, then great. And I use this app called Authy, and all you do is enter the code that it gives you from Kucoin on the Authy app. So anytime that you log in or withdraw, you need to enter in a 6-digit code from the Authy app, which will change every 30 seconds for security purposes. I also have set up a trading password. Whenever it's been an hour or so, I need to enter in that trading password to place a new trade. This is something that I like to use, but it's definitely optional, so whatever you prefer. So the next thing, which is one of the best parts about Kucoin, is there's no KYC or know your customer. So you don't need to give any photos of your driver's license or anything like that. You should also not set up a bank account directly with Kucoin. I always just send funds from Coinbase or a different exchange to my account, which we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So now that is a very basic tutorial on how to set up the exchange. So that was a very basic tutorial on how to set up the exchange. So now we're going to be moving on to how to navigate the exchange. There are quite a few things that I would like to talk about. Main account versus trading account, futures trading, spot trading, margin trading, lending, staking, and trading bots. So there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to cover in this video, so feel free to rewind it if you need to, or also rewatch this video as many times as you need to. Because like I said before, this exchange is a little bit more complicated, so it might be a little bit more to take on all at once. So here we are on my account. We're on the assets tab, which is right over here. And then, like I was saying before, the first thing that we're going to be going over is the main account and the trading account. Now, I must say, a lot of you probably haven't seen this before on an exchange because most exchanges just have one account where they hold your crypto. But on a couple exchanges like Kucoin and a couple other ones that I've seen, you have a main account and a trading account. So when you want to withdraw or deposit, you'll send it to this main account. And then when you want to trade, you have to transfer it. So you click on transfer and then you transfer that amount to your trading account and vice versa. So if I want main account to trading account, I can transfer whatever funds I wanted from to my trading account so that I could start trading. So for an example, if you were going to deposit XLM, you would go to deposit, click on XLM, and then you have to click this check mark to understand that you need both a memo and an address to deposit. So then you would go to your other exchange like Coinbase Pro. You would click on withdraw because you're going to withdraw it from that exchange and deposit on this one. You click withdraw, it's going to ask you for the address and also the memo. So what you would do is you would just copy, and you have both of them right here. You can just copy, or you can use the QR code, which the QR code is a little bit easier because you can just do it from your phone with your computer, just in case you accidentally didn't copy the right one, which could be a devastating mistake. So just make sure that you have the right one. And what I'd also recommend is when you are withdrawing or depositing, send a little test amount of like a couple bucks just to make sure that you have the right address. And if you don't transfer your funds from your main account to your trading account, when you go and try to place trades, you won't see your crypto there. But don't worry, it just means that you haven't moved it over. So just go back and click on the transfer button. So this is also a neat feature for traders, and one thing I will do occasionally is when I'm focusing on accumulating a certain coin, let's say CRO for example, all my trading profits I will put into CRO, and then I'll move the CRO to the main account so I can see how much I've made so far from just trading. And then so I'm not going to include that with what I trade with, because then that really helps you see the progress that you've made in the portfolio. If you found this video helpful so far, please drop a like down below. It would really help push this video out to more and more people. Since we are talking about the main account, when it comes to withdrawing or depositing crypto on here, I always use XLM because it's the fastest and it has the cheapest. So to withdraw, like I was showing before, it's just different than depositing. You just go to main account, make sure crypto is on that main account, then you click withdraw and you search for XLM, and then you'd enter in the address from the exchange you're depositing. So just the opposite of what we talked about before. And then you click withdraw. It will ask you for a 6-digit code, which you can get from Authy like before, and typically another 6-digit code from your email. If you've been in crypto a long time, these things become second nature. But if you're new, it can be confusing and scary. So I always do a test run of a couple bucks to make sure I got it all correct. And I advise you to do the same. So here on Kucoin, some of the biggest things they're known for are their staking and lending. So for staking, you would go over here and you'd click on the tab Finance. And then right here, Pool X Earn is going to be the staking. Then what you'll do is you'll find the crypto that you want. So you can click on this and then you look for the crypto that you want. Hydra is one of the ones that I always see because it has a super high, and then it looks like these ones are limited time. So you want to look for the one that you want to stake. And then when you click on it, like Hydra, for example, and then when you click on it, you can transfer that crypto from your trading account or your main account directly into this Pool X account. So if you didn't see before, but on the assets tab, you have different accounts, and Pool X is one of those accounts, and that is for staking. There are also different time frames for what you can stake. So it might be 3 days, it might be 7 days, it might be 28 days. So make sure that you read over the terms and conditions when you stake. There are a lot of high APIs like with Hydra and a couple others, so it could be a nice feature for some of you to use. The other thing that I want to discuss is crypto lending. You can lend your crypto for 1 week, 2 weeks, and 4 weeks and earn some nice rewards. So it's also going to be in the finance tab in the crypto lending, first one. I don't have any experience with lending on here because I just prefer to just trade and accumulate that way. But this is definitely a nice thing for you hodlers out there to make additional crypto. So when you lend, like I said, there's 7-day period, 14-day, 28-day period. You can even lend USDT and you can earn up to 28% APY. This fluctuates. I just saw it earlier when I was looking at it at 24%. So this can definitely change. And then what you would do is you have an option to just lend, or you can have auto lend, and then you decide what is the amount of USD that you want to hold on to, or USDT. So you want to keep 1,000, you don't want to put all of it in. And then you're looking for the daily interest rate. And from what I've learned is you want to keep it at the low points so that yours can get picked up first. Because you're competing against all these other people. So the people with the higher yields, they might not get picked up as quick as yours. And then when you lend your crypto or your USDT, basically you're giving someone else access to that crypto or USDT for that period of time. And they can use it to margin trade or whatever they want. And then they'll pay you back with that additional interest. And then you can also see if you were going to put in 1,000, you could see what your return would be. Let's just say if you clicked it on this, so you would make about $5 in 7 days from that interest. Now moving on to my favorite subject, trading. So there's futures trading, margins trading. So futures and margin trading are almost the same thing. The only difference is for future trading, you have a timeline for when this crypto must reach a certain price. So it's kind of like options and stocks trading. So basically you're predicting by a certain day, let's say like December 1st, that certain crypto will be at a certain price. Just like in stocks, you're basically buying a contract and those contracts will fluctuate in price. If it moves closer to those dates and you're past that price or you're close to it, your contract will be worth a lot more money and then you can sell it for a profit. So margin trading is betting on Bitcoin or any crypto to go up, which is longing, or down, which is shorting. And if you use a 10x margin for this position, if Bitcoin only goes up 10%, you would double your money. But if in the downside, if it goes down 10%, you'd get liquidated if you were in a long position. And then the opposite if you were in a short position. If it went down 10% in a short position, then you would be up 100%. And if it went up 10%, you would get liquidated. So I have experience in margin trading and I've made some good money, and then I got liquidated and I decided it was just too much of a gamble and too risky for me. So I just stick to spot trading. And this is just normal trading. The spot trading is just normal trading at normal prices. So here we are on spot trading, and we can search any pair that we want. So what you'll do is you'll click on this little down table, and then you have favorites tab, Bitcoin, KCS, which is Kucoin's stablecoin, altcoins, DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, Polkadot, and ETF, and US. We'll quickly go over all the different tabs and what they mean. First off, we have favorites, which is, first we have your favorites tab, and then this is just any cryptos that you want to add, and this is the one that I use the most. So I just add any cryptos and then I have them there. It could be USDT pairs, Bitcoin pairs, Ethereum pairs, whatever. And then after that we have USDT pairs. And the favorites tab is pretty much the only one that I use. You can add as many different pairs as you want. And one of the coolest things about it is when you get out of a position and you sell it all, and then you could just unfavorite it so you don't have to see it keep going up if it does that. That happens to me a lot. So USDT is for all the tether pairs. So I have a couple of these pairs on my favorites tab. Some coins you can only trade against tether. If you want a more in-depth explanation of how that works, I just made a video about it. You should check it out. Next we have KCS, which is the stable coin for Kucoin. Just like CRO and BNB are the coins for their exchanges, KCS is the exchange token for Kucoin. And so they have pairs for that. You can trade against other cryptos. Next we have alts, which is going to be all the coins that are paired against ETH. And then the rest of them are coins that trade on these networks or under these categories. So we have DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, Polkadot, and ET. So you don't really need to worry about that. Just focus on filling up your favorites tab and just use that. This is just to help you know what categories these are. So first we have limit orders and market orders. The difference between those are market orders are filled automatically. It's kind of like going to get a soda at a gas station versus at a fast food drive-through. Going into the gas station is a little bit more work, but you get to decide on how much ice you want and the soda that you want. Whereas at a drive-through line, they just fill it 3/4 of the way with ice. Just like the market order, you might get way more ice than you want or essentially buy it at a lot higher price. Or you can go with a little bit more effort and place the limit order, and then you decide the price and the result. So let's just say you want to buy a coin and it's at 10 cents. And you're wanting to buy a big amount. If the orders that people have placed are very small until like 15 cents, you could essentially instantly buy all these orders up to 15 cents until your whole order amount is filled, instantly increasing the price by 50%. So it could be a good thing when you quickly want to get into a position or exit a position, but a bad thing if there aren't a lot of orders placed. So you need to always check and make sure that there are orders, or just use limit orders like I do. Typically, you also spend less on fees when you use limit orders. So let's do a couple examples of setting up some limit orders. This is going to show you when are good times to buy. We will see coins have great days and do a 50% increase. Don't buy when that is happening. You should be selling if you hold any on those days. I love seeing 10 to 20% down days for coins because that is when I'm picking some up. More importantly is when this happens for the Bitcoin pair, because that means when it rebounds, you just made 10 to 20% more Bitcoin. So BPro was looking like a good buy and is down 10 to 20% the other day, and I picked some up at about 19.7 sats. And then the very next day, it went up 10% and 20%. I sold a little bit here and I placed a new buy order down here, which that hasn't filled yet. It's at about 19.23 sats. And then I also had an order fill right at almost the peak at 24.7 sats. And I placed that order, I'll show you. So it hit right here and I was looking to see where would be a good position to buy. So I looked and I saw these support levels right here. So I was seeing what they were at. So it says 21.16 Satoshis, 20.75, 21.08. So I placed my order at 21.36, just a little bit above there. And then it got filled today right here. So that little trade right there was a nice 15% trade. That just happened in a few hours. And if it just kept going up, I would have placed a little bit more orders as it goes up. And looking at these candles is when you can see what are good times to buy and what are good times to sell. So as you can tell, I was looking right here to see where are good support levels. And as you can see, it was hitting this support level basically perfectly. If it were to break down here, it would probably come back down to my buy-in price, which is right down here. Now, I know this has been a ton of information and it might be a little bit overwhelming, but don't worry, just make it simple and only use it for trading in the meantime. Then you could come back to this video many times and try out some of the other things Kucoin offers. So Kucoin has trading bots and I've used them before for about a month or so, and I made a nice little 40 bucks from like the safest possible trading bot setup that I could think of. And I will show you exactly what it is and how I set it up. So we're gonna get out of the trading, go back to assets so that we could see all the functions. And then if you go over trade, here it is right here, trading bot. And then I always use the spot grid trading bot. So you want to click here and click create bot, and then you go to customize, click on customize, and then you can set it up just like this, which is going to be one of the safest bots that you can create, and it could just casually earn as Bitcoin moves up and down. For the price range, you could put 30,000 on the low end, and then on the high end, 100,000. And then the number of orders you want placed is you want it to be the max. So you want it to be 100. So that means it's going to place 100 orders between those price ranges. So then it doesn't have to move as much percentage wise in order for your trades to be filled. So it says you need a minimum of $500, so you can just use 1,000. And basically the low and the highs mean if Bitcoin were to break below 30,000 or break above 100,000, then the orders would all be filled and the bot would close. But if it were to stay in that range, you would just keep hitting these orders. So we could look at the trading bot that I use and how it did. So I had about $1,400 in the account and I made about $43. So about a 3% increase in roughly a month or so. And we could go to historical profits. So here we can actually look at the bot. I had it between 20,000 on the low end, 80,000 on the high end. I entered in at 46,000 and I put in 100 orders. The amount per grid was this amount, and then this is the profits between each grid. And so the orders just happened every basically $600 that Bitcoin moved up and down, and it would just fill orders, and the profits for each time was about 17 or 18 cents. And it was just going to consistently be that same amount. And the total amount that I made from the grid, from the actual trading, was about $17. So that means I hit about 100 trades to make that $17. And then when I exited this trading bot, I got another $25 just from exiting at a higher price than when I invested. The reason I decided to exit was so that I could trade with that and make more. And if you want me to dive deeper into a certain part of the exchange, like staking or lending or something like that, just let me know in the comments down below and I can make a separate video on the topic. I appreciate you all. So something that I want to start on the channel is a little Q&A at the end of my videos. So you can comment down below questions that you have, and at the end of all my videos, I'll answer a few of those questions. So if you'd like one of your questions answered, leave it down below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, as always, keep it in the green.